What's up YouTube? Vintage Dollface back for another fun little video. Today we are going to be rating all Generation 1 Pokemon 1 through 10 on a number scale. All of these numbers and ratings will be based on my personal opinions and preferences, so don't come for me in the comments. I always say that, but I feel like I need to. But anywho, we are going to get started and let's jump in. I'm sure that you can probably guess some of my answers, but some of them might surprise you. So let's get into Generation 1. So obviously Bulbasaur, favorite starter, 10 out of 10. Ivysaur, I'm not a super big fan, 7 out of 10. Venusaur, I really feel like could have had a better design, 4 out of 10. Charmander, what about an 8 out of 10? Yeah. I really like this design, so I'm also going to give it an 8 out of 10. Charizard gets a 9.5 out of 10. Not perfect, but pretty close. Squirtle, sorry Squirtle fans, 4 out of 10. Wartortle, yeah, 5 out of 10. I do kind of like Blastoise though, so 6 out of 10 for Blastoise. Caterpie, I love it, 5 out of 10, because it's not my favorite bug type. Metapod is useless, 3 out of 10. Butterfree, 9 out of 10. I love Butterfree. Weedle, cute little boy, 6 out of 10. Kakuna, also useless, 2 out of 10. Beedrill, one of my absolute favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, 10 out of 10. Pidgey, 5 out of 10, Pidgeot, I would say maybe about a 5 out of 10 as well. And then, I'm sorry, Pidgeotto, and that's Pidgeot, which will get a 7 out of 10. Rattata, 3 out of 10, not a fan. Raticate, 3 out of 10, I guess. We'll mark it the same. Spearow, 4 out of 10. And for Fearow, I'm going to give Fearow a 5 out of 10. Ekans, I love Ekans, 8 out of 10. And then Arbok, of course, we're going to go 9.5 out of 10 for Arbok. Pikachu, we're going to do 8.5 out of 10. I love it, but I feel like it's a little overstated. Raichu gets a 9 out of 10. Sandshrew, little cutie, gets a 7 out of 10. And then Sandslash gets a 7 out of 10 as well. Nidoran female, we're gonna go 5 out of 10. And then Nidorina, we're gonna go 6 out of 10. Nidoqueen gets a 7 out of 10. Progressive scale, I know. Male Nidoran gets a 5 out of 10. Nidorino gets a 3 out of 10. I'm not a fan of the design. But Nidoking gets a 7.5 out of 10. Clefairy, 8 out of 10. Clefable also gets an 8 out of 10. Vulpix gets a 9 out of 10. Love Vulpix. And Ninetales gets a 10 out of 10 as well. I do be loving some Ninetales. Jigglypuff gets a 7 out of 10. Wigglytuff gets a 8 out of 10. Zubat gonna get a 7 out of 10. I know, but I really like this evolution line. Golbat's also gonna get a 7 out of 10. Oddish gets a 9 out of 10. One of my favorite evolution lines. Gloom, unfortunately, gets a 6.5 out of 10, but Vileplume gets a 10 out of 10, because, yes, Vileplume. Paris, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Parasect, also going to go 6 out of 10. Venonat is going to get a 6 out of 10 as well. However, Venomoth is going to get an 8 out of 10. Diglett gets a 4 out of 10. Not really a huge fan, although it is cute. Dugtrio is also going to get a 4 out of 10. Meowth gets a 7 out of 10, and then Persian is going to get a 8.5 out of 10, yeah. Psyduck, I do love Psyduck, honestly. 9 out of 10 for Psyduck, 9 out of 10 for Golduck as well. I really like those Pokemon. Mankey is going to get a 6 out of 10. Primeape is going to get a 7 out of 10. Growlithe gets an 8 out of 10. And then Arcanine gets a 9 out of 10. Poliwag is going to get an 8 out of 10 as well. Poliwhirl is going to get an 8 out of 10. And then Poliwrath is actually going to get a 9 out of 10. I do like the water fighting type. Abra gets an 8 out of 10. I do love this line as well. Kadabra is going to get a 6 out of 10 though. Not a super huge fan of the design. Alakazam gets an 8 out of 10. Machop gets a 6 out of 10. Machoke gets also a 6 out of 10. And I'm going to give Machamp a 7.5 out of 10 just because it's a really good design. Bellsprout is going to get an 8 out of 10. We all know that I have a thing for grass types. Weeping Bell is going to get a 6 out of 10. And Victory Bell is going to get an 8.5 out of 10. Tentacool, I'm going to give a solid 7 out of 10. Tentacruel, I'm gonna give a 6 out of 10. Geodude gets a 6 out of 10. It's pretty basic, pretty average. Graveler gets a 3 out of 10. Sorry, not sorry. Golem gets a 5 out of 10 though. A little bit of a better design. Ponyta gets an 8 out of 10. And then Rapidash is also gonna get a high rating at 9 out of 10. Slowpoke is gonna get a 7 out of 10. Cute little dopey boy. And then Slowbro is also gonna get a 7 out of 10. Magnemite, I'm gonna give it a 5 right in the middle. Magneton, I'm gonna give a 6. Yeah. Farfetch'd, I'm gonna give a 5. Not the biggest fan of Kanto Farfetch'd. Doduo is gonna get a 5 out of 10. Dodrio is gonna get a 5 out of 10 as well. Seal gets an 8 out of 10. I love Seal. And then Dugong actually gets an 8.5 out of 10. Grimer is gonna get a 3 out of 10. Sorry. I do love poison types, but Grimer and Muck, they both get like really low ratings. 3 out of 10 for Muck too. Shelter gonna go 5 out of 10. Cloyster, I'm gonna go 7 out of 10. Ghastly gets a 9 out of 10. And Haunter gets an 8 out of 10. I like Ghastly design better, but Gengar gets a solid 10 out of 10. I'm sure no one is surprised by that. Onix, I'm gonna give a 7 out of 10. It's a good design for the rock type. Drowsy gets a 3 out of 10. Yeah, need I say more? Hypno's gonna get a 5 out of 10 though. Krabby, I'm gonna give a 4 out of 10. And Kingler, I'm gonna give like a 5. Voltorb gets a 4 out of 10. Electrode gets a 5 out of 10 just for its goofy grin. Execute is gonna grab a 6. And Executor is gonna be a solid 5. Cubone, 7 out of 10. I love Cubone. And Marowak is gonna get a 6 out of 10. Hitmonlee is gonna get a 7. Hitmonchan is gonna get an 8. I like its design better. Lickitung is gonna get a 4. Coughing is gonna get a 5. Wheezing is also gonna get a 5. Right in the middle on those. Rhyhorn is gonna get a 5 out of 10 as well. Rhydon, I'm gonna give a 6. It's a little bit of cooler design. Chansey is gonna get an 8 out of 10. Little cutie. Tangela, I'm also gonna give a 7. Kangaskhan, I'm gonna give an 8. Horsey, I'm gonna give an 8. Seadra gets a 9 out of 10. Love Seadra. Goldeen is also gonna get an 8. Pretty goldfish. Seaking, however, is gonna get a 4. Why did they do that to Goldeen? Staryu gets a 6. And Starmie gets an 8. Mr. Mime is gonna get a 6. I'm kind of in the middle on that. Scyther is also gonna get a 6. Jinx gets a 4. Don't like Jinx, not really. Electabuzz is gonna get a 6 as well. Magmar, I'm gonna give a 3. Pinsir, this is a 4. Tauros, I'm gonna give a 5. Magikarp gets a 5 as well. And then Gyarados gets an 8. Lapras gets a solid 9. Love Lapras. Ditto is gonna get a 9 as well. I do actually really like Ditto. Eevee gets a 10. And honestly, so do the first 3 evolutions, but I will say Jolteon is my favorite of the 3, but they all get 10 out of 10 for me because I love Eevee and all of its evolutions. Porygon is gonna get a 7 out of 10. I think it's a really cool design. Omanite gets a 6. Omastar gets a 5. It's very creepy, but I like it. Kabuto, even creepier, is gonna get a 7, actually. Kabutops is gonna have a 7 as well. Aerodactyl, I think I'll give a 6. Not the biggest fan. Snorlax gets an 8. Articuno is gonna get an 8 as well. Zapdos gets a 7. It's probably my least favorite out of the 3 legendary birds. And then Moltres is gonna get an 8.5. Dratini gets a 9. And Dragonair also gets a 9. And then unfortunately we get to Dragonite, which is gonna get a 5 for me, sorry. Mewtwo gets a 9, and then Mew gets a 10. Duh, of course, my favorite Pokemon, it has to. And that is it for all of the Generation 1 Pokemon rated 1 through 10. Again, these are all my personal preferences, so, you know, don't come for me. Don't tell me I rated your favorite Gen 1 Pokemon terribly. This is all my opinions. You're welcome to your own. But tell me in the comments which ones are your favorites. Which Generation 1 Pokemon get a 10 out of 10 from you in the comments. I do want to know that much. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I appreciate your support here on the channel. Don't forget to leave a like down below before you go, and you can subscribe if you are new here and have not done so already. You can also hit that notification bell if you want to get updated anytime I upload new content to the channel, which is usually every Monday and Friday. I will see you guys in the next video, but until then, bye!